Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. We're going to take a comprehensive look at drug and sex crimes in the United States. This presentation will cover a wide range of important aspects, including the historical background, the various legal frameworks involved, the social impacts these crimes have, and the different treatment approaches that are used. I'm excited to dive into this complex and critical topic with you. Today, we'll be exploring some important aspects of drug and sex crimes in the United States. First, we'll look at the historical background of drug use and how legislation has evolved over time. Understanding this context is crucial to grasping why certain laws exist today. Then, we'll break down how controlled substances are classified, which helps explain the legal differences between various drugs. We'll also define what dangerous drugs are and discuss the broader impact that drug abuse has on individuals and society. Moving on, we'll review the different methods used in treating drug addiction, highlighting approaches to help those affected. Finally, we'll touch on sex work, examining not only its legal status, but also the social factors connected to it. This overview sets the stage for a deeper conversation about these complex issues. Let's start by looking at the history of drug regulation in the United States. One of the earliest significant laws was the Harrison Narcotics Tax Act of 1914, which marked the beginning of formal regulation around narcotics. This act essentially required dealers of opiates and coca products to register and pay taxes, aiming to control their distribution. Fast forward to 1970, the Controlled Substances Act came into play. This law categorized drugs into different schedules based on their potential for abuse and their accepted medical use. It provided a framework that still influences drug control policies today. These regulations didn't just control substances, they also shaped how society viewed drug users and helped set enforcement priorities, often influencing public attitudes and policies for decades. The so-called war on drugs further intensified these efforts, reflecting ongoing shifts in legislation and public opinion. It brought stricter enforcement and a focus on reducing drug supply and demand, though often with significant social consequences. More recently, we've seen important changes, such as shifts in medical marijuana policy and new responses to the opioid crisis. These developments highlight how drug control is an evolving issue, reflecting broader changes in public attitudes and health priorities. Federal law organizes controlled substances into 5 distinct schedules. This classification hinges on 3 main factors: whether the drug has an accepted medical use, its potential for abuse, and its risk of causing dependence. Starting with Schedule 1, these substances have no accepted medical use and carry a high potential for abuse. Examples include heroin and LSD. Moving to Schedule 2, these drugs do have recognized medical uses but still pose a significant risk of abuse, like cocaine and methamphetamine. Schedules 3 and 4 cover drugs with moderate to low potential for abuse. Schedule 3 includes substances such as anabolic steroids, which have a moderate risk of dependence, while Schedule 4 includes drugs like Xanax and Valium, known for their lower abuse potential. Lastly, Schedule 5 drugs have the lowest risk and often contain limited amounts of narcotics, commonly found in certain cough preparations. This classification system is crucial as it influences legal control measures, prescribing practices, and the penalties associated with violations. When we talk about dangerous drugs, we're referring to substances that you can't just buy over the counter because they carry a risk of abuse, addiction, or harm. These aren't your everyday medications. They include prescription drugs like opioids, benzodiazepines, and some stimulants, especially when they're not used as directed. To keep these substances in check, both federal and state laws have strict regulations. This helps prevent misuse and protects everyone's health. Because these drugs can be easily abused and lead to serious harm, the law takes unauthorized possession or distribution very seriously, often leading to significant legal penalties. Understanding these points is crucial for recognizing why these regulations are in place and the risks involved. Drug abuse has wide-ranging impacts that affect not only individuals, but entire communities. One major consequence is its link to increased crime rates, as substance abuse can lead to behaviors that disrupt social order. On the health front, drug abuse often results in emergencies that strain medical resources and threaten the well-being of users and those around them. Economically, the effects are also significant. Loss of productivity due to addiction can undermine the stability of workplaces and local economies. Compounding these issues is the way society often stigmatizes drug users, viewing them through a lens of judgment rather than understanding, which can shape policies that limit access to necessary treatment. Even though addiction is medically classified as a condition requiring care, prevailing social attitudes sometimes favor punishment over rehabilitation, making it more difficult for individuals to access support and successfully reintegrate into society. Addressing these challenges requires a shift in both perspective and policy to foster more compassionate and effective responses. When it comes to treating drug addiction, there are several effective approaches to consider. First, behavioral therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy help individuals change harmful behaviors and develop healthier coping strategies. These therapies focus on understanding triggers and learning new ways to respond. Next, medication-assisted treatments play a crucial role by using medications such as methadone or buprenorphine to ease withdrawal symptoms and reduce cravings, making the recovery process more manageable. In addition, support groups and counseling provide much-needed emotional and social support, helping individuals feel connected and understood throughout their journey. It's important to remember that the success of these treatments depends on the unique needs of each person, how long they stick with the program, and combining approaches that address physical health, psychological well-being, and social factors all together. This comprehensive approach increases the chances of lasting recovery. Sex work is defined as the consensual exchange of sexual services for money or goods. It's important to recognize that the legal status of sex work varies significantly depending on where you are. Some places have full legality with regulations in place, while others treat it as a criminal offense. Beyond legal issues, there are many social considerations involved, such as the stigma sex workers often face, public health concerns, and ongoing debates about safety and human rights. To fully understand sex work, we need to look at the combination of legal frameworks, societal attitudes, and the real-life experiences of those involved. At the heart of these discussions are critical debates about ensuring the safety and human rights of sex workers, which continue to shape policies and public opinion. As we conclude, it's important to recognize that drug and sex crimes are deeply interconnected, involving a range of legal, social, and health factors that make these issues particularly complex in the United States. Looking back, historical drug policies have played a significant role in shaping how we currently classify and enforce laws related to these crimes, often with lasting impacts on communities. At the same time, addiction treatments are crucial because they aim to tackle the public health side of these problems, offering more compassionate and effective solutions. When it comes to sex work, the debate remains highly controversial, with ongoing tensions between legality and individual rights. Moving forward, it's clear that we need continuous critical examination and thoughtful, informed policies to effectively address the challenges tied to drug and sex crimes.